Hello, my name is Javier Campanopoulos, and today I'll be talking about my evidence of mechanical design. This evidence goes around the laser welding cell that my team and I have been working on for the last 5 weeks. Well, the first question is to explain the technical and security considerations that we took into account for the design of our layout. Well, the security considerations were mainly based on the norms that were given to us, such as the norm 0404 STPS 1999, which talks about the hazardous situations and how to prepare the workers for them. The norm 026 and STPS 1998 and the norm 018 STPS 2000 that both talk about the classification of hazardous liquids, and the NCRIA R1506 and the EN ISO 10218-1. Those standards, there are standards that help a designer to design the robot. So that's what we took into consideration. As you can see, in order for safety, we placed fences, security fences, in order to avoid any kind of interruption by anyone who's not prepared. Also, we implemented these kind of the safety mats that work like presence sensors. So when someone steps on them, the whole thing shuts down in order to avoid any kind of hazard. And also, we have the controller with the emergency stop, which is a regulation thing. Also, we can see the workers have their protective equipment. Also, in the report, we have more protective equipment for them, such as gloves, boots, that kind of stuff. Also, we have the tables that are there are the pieces where the workers will have the piece that needs to be welded. And, after the workers take down the piece and send it to the conveyor, they can take the piece from the table and send it down there. That's how it works. And, well, what do we have? That's it, I believe. Okay, the next point is to talk about the considerations that we took while designing the fixture. Okay, what we wanted for the fixture was a design that will help the workers while placing the piece. Because, we have 3 minutes to run the whole procedure, so time is counted. And we need it to be as fast as possible. So as you can see, the layout, the fixture design is designed in order for it to be just placing in one way. It also cannot be placed like the other way around. It's just one way. Also, it is designed in order for the robot to be able to weld it through both sides, because as we know, the piece needs two sides of welding. And I believe that's it. The third point is to explain the design procedure, then the technical considerations take into design the adapter between the robot and the laser hand. Well, this is quite funny in a way, because we didn't have to design an adapter. Once we chose a robot, which is, by the way, the IRB4660, that has a payload of 40 kilograms and a reach of 255. When we looked at the headpiece, we didn't need an adapter, so we just placed it down there. It fitted perfectly. So we didn't need one. But in case we needed one, we would have to build a cath around the opening, and we will have to build the adapter in order for it to fit the headpiece. And finally, I believe the last step is to explain the technical considerations that we're taking into selecting the robot, the rotary table, and the vision system. Okay, I'll begin by the robot. As I mentioned previously, my robot is the RB4660, and as you know, that robot has 4 kind of designs. All of them are different, but we opted for the one with the reach of 255 and the payload 40 kilograms, because even though our payload is low, I believe it's less than 15 kilograms. I believe it's 6 kilograms or more. I don't remember. But when you look at the load diagrams, you might think that if you have a load of, 5 kilograms and you buy a robot for 5 kilograms, your reach will be very low, because the center of the mass will move, and it might be quite hard for the robot to stabilize, so it will have limited reach. So by having a robot that with more payload and more reach, we were able to have the reach we desired, and we needed for this kind of project. Okay, also the positioner, well, the rotating table, as here in the evidence is mentioned. Yep, the rotary table. We chose this one because it was quite compact. It didn't make such a mess, and it was small in a way. And also it helped us with the rotation of the full rotation, the 360 degrees of rotation. So it was quite helpful. And finally, that's why we chose it. And finally, I would say the vision system. The vision system that we use is we're going to use the software inside, of course, but the vision system is the Inside D900. We chose this because it has the defective detection and the assembly verification. In the report, actually, I did those parts. I chose to do an inspection of every piece of the whole rail in order to help us to see if the weldings are precise, because due to the fact that this is a car part, we need no error almost. So we need, vision system. And that vision system, the D900, helped me a lot because it had a high quality. It could analyze images with a higher level of pixels, which is quite important because, precision. And I would say that's it. Also because of the OCR. And also, I forgot to mention about the fixture. We implemented these kind of these grippers in order for holding the piece in place. And that's I would say that's about it. Thank you so much.